The growth of distance education has brought about questions concerning the new characteristics and needs of students, especially successful and satisfied ones. In order to develop high-quality distance education programs, it is important for designers and educators of distance education courses to understand the characteristics of distance learners and what affects their success and satisfaction. Distance education has been a rapidly growing part of education and training. Recently, there has been a significant movement towards offering online or blended courses around the world. As distance education continues to expand, colleges and universities have tried to find ways to evaluate the classes offered. While it is hard for many of us to imagine, the roles of males and females are different, even when it comes to distance education. Throughout this presentation, I will be discussing how males and females differ in online courses and degrees. Demographic data available from several different studies concludes that the majority of distance education students are female, married, employed at least part-time, and older than traditional students. Why are more female students enrolled in distance education courses than their male counterparts? Perhaps it can be explained simply by the flexibility offered by online courses. With the complexity of family and work restraints, it is easy to envision flexibility as a major reason more females are enrolled than males. Perhaps, though, more females are enrolled due to other issues also, such as communication, self-efficacy, and participation. What is self-efficacy? Self-efficacy is defined as beliefs in one's capabilities to organize and execute the courses of action required to manage prospective students. In layman's terms, self-efficacy is basically the confidence or the lack thereof when it comes to completing a specific task. Much research shows that self-efficacy is directly related to academic performance. In terms of self-efficacy, research has concluded that while males are more confident in their abilities to use computers and applications, females are much more confident in establishing relationships. In distance education, establishing relationships is perhaps just as important as knowing how to use the computer. Why is establishing relationships important in distance education? Online communities are extremely important in distance education courses. Students that are not participating in face-to-face instruction often feel a sense of loneliness and lack a sense of togetherness. Therefore, most distance education courses are developed so that students must participate with one another, completing strands of weekly discussions, projects, ensuring that ideas are fully developed and actual learning is taking place. Professional literature suggests that most women seek to establish intimacy in any relationship, albeit a personal relationship or work relationship. Females would set the tone for online discussions, and they would have a stronger sense of community and a greater perception of learning at the end of their online classes. Research has found that students in traditional classrooms who have strong feelings of community are more likely to persevere than those students who feel alienated and alone. Women and men certainly communicate differently. While researching gender roles in distance education, Rovai and Baker realized that most men exhibit an independent voice and most women use a connected voice. The voice of men, independent voice, tends to be distant and assertive, possessing an authoritative tone. Women use the connected voice, which can be described as supportive and helpful without being assertive. It is of utmost importance for those establishing online courses to keep this in mind. Females are generally more apt to communicate on a friendlier level than most men. With that said, let's take a look at the different participation patterns of males and females. Generally, in any online setting, females exhibit more social behavior online than men. While females write significantly more messages in a same gender group than do males. However, in a mixed gender group, males write more messages than do females. As a whole, female students have higher scores than males across all variables, reflecting greater levels of perceived learning for the courses taken. It only makes sense to say that if more female students are enrolled, more females are completing online degrees. This research depicts that some changes need to take place in the design and development of distance education courses. If gender is not viewed as a relevant issue in distance education, the system will not be equally accessible to men and women. As more research is being conducted, we will realize even more that the structure of online courses needs to be reevaluated.